Orvieto versus Spoleto. Which makes the better day trip from Rome? In this video, we're going to be sharing with you two great day trips from Rome, about an hour and a half outside of Rome in the Umbria region. Both have pluses and minuses, but in this video, we're going to share with you what both of those cities have to offer. And at the end of the video, we'll share with you why we like one over the other, but ultimately, it'll help you have a clear understanding of both of these towns so you can decide for yourself which makes a better day trip for you. Lots to share with you in this video. Let's get started. Our first stop is Orvieto.
Here we go again, you think by now I know better. Locked in my head, romanticizing forever. Last love I found, knees met the ground and all my roses died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it.
Getting from Rome to Orvieto is really pretty simple. There's 1 to 2 trains leaving from Rome to Orvieto, or from Orvieto back to Rome throughout the day and well into the evening. And it costs around 10 euros each way, 10 to 15 depending on the type of train. Once you arrive in Orvieto at the train station, right across that square when you walk out is the funicular. The funicular is a bus, kind of a tram trolley car type thing that takes you up the hill, because Orvieto is located on top of the hill, maybe 500, 600, 700 feet above the train station. I'm not real sure. The funicular was 1.5 euros going up and 1.5 coming down, but super easy to do. There's just tap and go, so you can just use your phone when you get there, your credit card or whatever, and tap on the receiver and then enter the turnstile and hop on. When you get up there, the views are stunning, and we were fortunate. When we arrived in Orvieto, it was very cloudy, it was actually very foggy, and as soon as we got on the funicular, we started to rise above the fog, and when we got to the top, the views were outrageously beautiful, absolutely stunning. And then we explored the town of Orvieto. Orvieto is a really charming town. There's quite a bit to see in the city. Now, there is a famous well that we did not, I think it's St. Patrick's Well, but it was closed the day we were there, so we could not tour that. But we did go to the main basilica there in Orvieto, and it was beautiful. We are a little bit disappointed because they do charge 9 euros to go into the basilica, and then for an additional 2 euros, you get to go what they call an underground of the basilica, which really wasn't much. It was just more like a storage hall. And there's another small museum that's right there next to the basilica that's included. But again, nothing big. So in essence, it really cost us 11 euros. But compared to every other basilica and church I've been to in Italy, none of them have ever charged. And while the church at Orvieto, the main basilica there, was beautiful, I didn't think the interior was anything that they should have charged for. That's just me. You know, maybe I'm a cheapskate, so what can I say? If you're from Orvieto by chance, or if you've been to Orvieto, what would a tourist do besides checking out the well and checking out the basilica and then checking out some of the town, the stores and whatnot in the town? Maybe there's a couple of squares. Is there a nice hike there? Is there a bike ride? Are there, you know, some certain sites that everybody used to see that I missed? And I very well could have missed some important stuff. But anyway, that's my take on Orvieto. Very charming town. It just lacked, kind of, to me, the, you know, something that I'd want to go back and do it again and again, because I like towns that have kind of a purpose of being there, you know, where you're going to go like on a little tour or do a certain activity, such as, you know, like I said, like a bike ride or something like that, a nice walk, or, you know, something very interesting. So Orvieto, while it was beautiful, to me, it's kind of a nice place to visit one time. Now we're off to Spoleto. Now Spoleto is also located in Umbria. Again, it's going to be on the Train Italia network. It takes about an hour and a half to get there from Rome. Trains, quite frequently depart Rome to Spoleto and from Spoleto back to Rome, similar to Orvieto, at least one per hour throughout the day and well into the evening. Once you arrive in Spoleto and you exit the train station, you're going to find the city to be fairly ordinary. But as you work your way towards the city center, which is about a 10, maybe a 15-minute walk at most from there, you're going to see it change quite drastically. The city is built upon a hill, and they have installed escalators taking you from the base of the city all the way up to the castle, which is on the top of the city. It's free to do. There's 7 or 8 different escalators. You can get off at different various points of the city. But when we got there, we decided to take a hike there in Spoleto. When you get to Spoleto, you're going to want to head to the bottom of the escalators where the hike will start. Okay, today we're in a town called Spoleto and we are headed up on a nice little hike. It's a lot of fun.
Very scenic, very picturesque, and it doesn't look quite like a quintessential Italian town. It's got a little more German flavor to it, I think. But
Okay, well these guys,
Perfect for the German boy.
yeah, so we'll let you know what these guys think afterwards, but here we go. Now, when you get over here, it's nice because they actually have an escalator to take you to the top of the city where the hike begins. And that's what we're gonna get on right now, the escalator.
Because we're lazy.
See the castle up top there? This is where the escalator goes to. And from there, there's a good bridge, and that's where the hike begins. Once you get to the top of the escalators, you're gonna walk along a path. It's a beautiful path above the city, right below the castle, as you make your way to the huge bridge, the old bridge that used to be an aqueduct. You can't miss it. When you get to the bridge, you're gonna walk across the bridge. There's some great places there where you can take some nice pictures. Just super interesting as you walk across that old aqueduct bridge. Once you get to the other side, you're gonna see there's several signs heading you in different directions. Just head to the one that does the loop, and as you walk along the trail, you're gonna have some nice, beautiful views of the town of Spoleto. All right, we just got done doing our hike in Spoleto. Let's see what everybody thought about it. Kim, what'd you think?
2 thumbs up.
Kate?
2 thumbs up. Definitely worth the travel. No, it was gorgeous.
Does that mean our
Super,
train's
super
coming?
awesome.
Oh, I hear
Spoleto is probably
us.
my favorite place so far.
Oh, there you go. Only an hour, hour and a half from Rome. Get down to Spoleto, and you're gonna love it. Once you make it all the way down to the base, back to the bottom of the escalators, it's about a 2-hour walk, but it's very casual and very enjoyable. Nothing's too strenuous. And then it's a great time to head back up the escalator. Maybe you stop at the Duomo or wherever else along the city you want to enter the city from, and then go explore the town of Spoleto. So if I could only pick one, I was limited on time. I was going to either visit Spoleto or Orvieto. You probably already know my answer. It would be Spoleto. Spoleto's a little bit larger, a little bit more interesting, I thought, than Orvieto, and that hike is what puts it over the top, being able to walk around, check out that little hike. If you've been to both and you disagree with me, then let me know in the comments. Others would probably appreciate your insight or input to that. But both towns offer a lot. They're both really fun, and if you do have the time, check them both out. But yeah, that's my pick. If you could only do one, visit Spoleto. So what do you think? Do you like videos where I put one city versus another city? I was thinking of doing additional, maybe like Pompeii versus Herculaneum, Florence versus, let's see, Florence maybe versus Siena, Amalfi Coast versus Cinque Terre, Rome versus, well, there's nothing better than Rome, but you kind of get the point. If you like this style of video, let me know in the comments. I'll do more of them. And if you're not tired of me, I've got a great video coming up. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna let YouTube pick it for you. So it'll be coming up right now.